This is Big Mary the Gravekeeper. She was about around 45, 50 years old at this time. After the preacher was gone and his wife was gone, she was left all by herself. But the townsfolk, a few of the nice ones, the old church folk, they would leave her food and, things like that. And she eventually, got her little garden and stuff started up. So she was able to feed herself, and with help from the community, she was doing all right. Now, even though Mary was as strong as like a bull, she could move caskets and everything on her own, and tombstones and all that by hand, she started kind of wearing down and breaking down because, at this point, they say Mary was about 700 pounds at this point. She was 6'6", so it was really starting to wear down on her joints, and I saw them years of hard work carrying that weight was taking a toll on her. But instead of giving up, she didn't really know nothing else. All she knew was this work. So she continued to work even though it was hurting her. Now, this was wearing on her mind because, as y'all probably know, man, when you in just like all pain all day long, all night long, it just start eating away at your mental, and you'll get to the point where you'll do anything to get up out of that pain. So she tried something that she promised the preacher man that she would never do. She actually tried drinking. Now, the first time she didn't drink all the way till she was drunk, but she was just trying to ease the pain. Now, she could have went into town and tried to go to the doctor, but she know every time she would go into town, it would always go sideways. Now, the people of the town, how folk is, they too ignorant to ever take a moment and think, hey man, let me go check on Big Mary. Maybe she needs something. Because people was either scared of her, because all the older people that saw her growing up, they was all gone. So now the younger generation coming up, they just treated her because they was scared of her as a kid. So, to this day, they still looking at her like she was a monster. So she tried the drinking, and she tried it for a little while, more and more each time, because she realized the more she would do, the more the pain would go away. But in the back of her mind, even though like Mary was a little bit off, she knew that it wasn't the best thing for her to do. So she got up off of it. Now, still dealing with that pain, I think, in my opinion, from what I see from, and what I gathered from the folk who told me about this, it seemed like, her mind just started really deteriorating, and like she was kind of like making an escape from the pain by, it's like her mind was just kind of creating a different world to help her escape from her pain. So the same thing folk do when they, drink and smoke, she was doing it, but without the actual substance. So now she started talking to the folk who in the graves. So now when she talking to these folk, like they was her friends, they didn't judge her. They wasn't scared of her. Like if she know she needed to see the doctor, she'd go see old Dr. Jones, who might be gone, but she would go talk to him at his grave, and that would make her, he'd get her a diagnosis in her mind and all that type of stuff. So, this is how she coped with it. But the only thing is now, when you do something like that for so long, man, stuff starts to become reality to you. You know what I'm saying? So even though it might not have been, maybe it wasn't nothing supernatural, I can't say, but after her doing it so long, to her, it became real. So in the end, when she buried herself, it's almost like she just wanted to be with her friends and family, the only people that really took the time to see about her.